Voice recorder is a way to do audio recording without physical facial presence. So sometimes podcasts are done via simply audio methods, and then podcasts are also video recorded. Audio is a part of the video, typically, unless it's a silent podcast with maybe like sign language. That's a letter. Here, we can recognize frequencies. It's like when being underwater and listening to like a dolphin or a whale speak. That's kind of like what they do. Anyways, driving days, talking about podcasts and discussion topics, subjects, driving days. What does it take to drive? What can a conversation or discussion be a foundation of and then grow into multiple discussions that are sustainable for such? Driving, not everyone is allowed to do it. Depending on where one lives, everyone may be allowed to do it, drive, but does everyone participate? And what does everyone actually mean? Everyone, usually there's age restrictions. Even with age restrictions, sometimes some people might say height restrictions, but I think physical vehicles have adapted to such to ensure that regardless of height, someone is still capable and able to drive a vehicle. So they have seat adjustments and they have steering wheel adjustments, and no matter how small or large the vehicle is, they have smaller vehicles and larger vehicles. They have even pedal adjustments where the pedal can be raised or pushed back. So for longer legs and shorter legs, longer people, taller people and shorter people. Law to driving. Not everyone agrees with that all the time. And a lot. I mean, from putting on a seatbelt to even why are seatbelts in the vehicle in the first place, and then so then it brings the question of like manufacturing, but then there's this whole movement with women. Like some people don't even think women should work. The man is the main breadwinner, so to let a woman drive is just out of the question. Is that applied culturally, religiously, or just personally? Not exactly sure. It just depends, right? Depends on who someone's talking to. So those are some foundations of continued conversation in a podcast series. Driving days, some bullet points that can be topicked or subjected for discussion on a more regular basis or a more continued basis, shall I say. It can go from simple everyday activities to more methodical, educational in regards to law and legal. It can go from comedy, satire of driving, from driving tests to driving mishaps, or more serious, to driving accidents that are more medically and trauma filled or responsive and medically, or it can be more surrounded around passengers, lack of passengers, drivers' perspective, professional to personal to passenger surroundings and environments. Like, what does it mean when someone cries? What does it mean when someone laughs? These days, it can be historical. It can reference movies. It can reference other titles in entertainment. It can reference plays. It can reference recreational activities. It can reference let's see. It can reference professional again to personal. So a NASCAR driver or a Formula One driver will have a completely different perspective and discussion on driving than maybe a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad or a bus driver or an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or just a friend who happens to drive, or just a mom, or just an employee who not just but a truck driver that comes and delivers products to a store or to a restaurant, and their experiences are going to be completely different but similar, right? They're behind a wheel that has other wheels that drive, that are put into motion, that are put into stops, that are purposed in different ways.